update for you this morning on a story that Jerika Duncan has been following for more than a decade. Cariol Horne was dismissed from the Buffalo, New York Police Department after she intervened when a white officer used a chokehold on a black man. This was back in 2006. Now a judge has decided to reverse Horne's termination and reinstate her pension. Jerika Duncan spoke to Horne about why she kept fighting all these years.
Cariol Horne never stopped believing in the justice system. Did you ever think this day would come?
I did think this day would come. That's why I kept fighting.
Horne's story goes back almost 15 years. In 2006, the former Buffalo, New York police officer made headlines after she tried to stop fellow officer Greg Kwiatkowski from choking a black suspect, Neil Mack. Horne says she was struck in the face by Kwiatkowski at the time.
Get on him now!
This past summer, after watching George Floyd's breath slip away under the knee of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, Horne recalled why she intervened.
Neil Mack looked like he was about to die. So had I not stepped in, he possibly could have. He was handcuffed and being choked.
To this day, Mack maintains Horne saved his life.
He was choking me. I was handcuffed. Cariol Horne said, "You killing him, Greg," and she reached over and tried to grab his hand around my neck.
The police department brought disciplinary charges against Horne, even though a judge made a decision regarding which I covered as a reporter in Buffalo for CBS affiliate WIVB more than a decade ago.
So they can't hide behind the lies.
The department fired the mother of five after finding her use of force against a fellow officer was unjustified. She was terminated just months before being eligible to receive her full pension. As for Greg Kwiatkowski, he was later sentenced to 4 months in federal prison in 2018 for using unlawful and unreasonable force against 4 black teenagers. In October of last year, Buffalo City's mayor signed the Duty to Intervene law, which would require police to step in if a fellow officer uses excessive force. It's legislation Horne helped write and had been pushing since 2016.
We don't want other officers to go through what I've gone through, but we don't want other victims to go through what George Floyd went through.
That same month, with the help of attorneys Ron Sullivan and Intisar Robb, Horne filed a lawsuit to overturn her 2008 termination. Just this week, a New York State judge ruled that Horne's pension, which she says is worth at least $800,000, must be reinstated.
We asked the judge to vacate the decision, get rid of the decision, and reinstate her non-pro-tonque, a Latin phrase which means bring it back to 2008 and fix this thing. So it's called an equitable remedy that allows judges to go back in the interest of justice.
In an 11-page opinion, the judge quoted the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., saying, "The time is always right to do right." He went on to say the city of Buffalo has recognized the error and has acknowledged the need to undo an injustice from the past. When you read those words, what went through your mind?
Finally, somebody gets it. Somebody understands.
Ron?
It was a powerful decision and really said what needed to be said. It was a gross injustice that happened, and he basically said, look, we're sorry, we got this wrong.
An admission nearly 15 years in the making. Justice delayed, not denied, but sadly only realized because of a tragedy witnessed by the world. For CBS This Morning, Jerika Duncan, New York.
A round of applause.
All right. It's sad. It's really sad. It took a life to be taken for a life to be restored. That's something, you know. And the fact of the matter is that Greg Kwiatkowski only got, 8 months in prison for the way he used excessive force on 4 black boys. It's sad. It really is. And the thing is, though, I mean, there's 2 victories that happened. 2 victories. You know, Derek Chauvin is now guilty and facing 40 years in prison, and Carolyn Horne is being vindicated and having her pension, reinstated because she prevented a murder. And the racist officers wanted her fired, wanted her gone because she did the unthinkable. She actually was upholding what she was supposed to do as a cop. And she had to go through all that mess, losing her pension, a single mother, 5 kids she had to raise, scrape by. I remember I was doing a story on that. She had to, work all types of odd jobs just to make ends meet. I remember reading this story when it first came out. It was so sad. It was aggravating. All she did was prevent a murder. She prevented a racist trash behind a badge from committing murder. The suspect was already handcuffed. He had no business doing that. But I respect Cariol Horne for her bravery, for her courage. While most people would have given up, being honest, most people would have given up. All right? All those years since 2008, and now you're being vindicated, a lot of people would have given up. A lot of people would have just been like, you know what? I'm just going to try to find another job, and that's it. And just work. And maybe miserable, but just work. And, it turned out that she won in the end. Like I said, it's so sad that, it took a life. It took George Floyd's life that was taken in order for her to be vindicated. All because she did the thing. All because of that. And you're going to have some whites crying, racists, and say they're not racist. The fact that she got her pension back. Well, she earned it, and she deserves it. Personally, I think she should be given, her kids should be given scholarship money, a free ride to college after the nonsense that their mother had to go through, raising 5 kids on her own. Well, tell me what you think about this story. Let me know in the comments. You know what to do. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.